Hi, my name is Braulio Estima. I'm 3 times world champion. I've been training over 12 years under the Gracie team. I'm under José Radiola, who himself trains under Carlos Gracie Jr., which is the master of the Gracie team. Well, BJJ started when the Jiu-Jitsu came from Japan to Brazil. Okay, everything started with the monks in India, and then went to Japan, and then there became like a little bit of a line. The judo line came from the traditional jiu-jitsu, and then became with the traditional jiu-jitsu on the same line. And then by the Márcio Maeda coming to the north of Brazil in the Amazon, they introduced they met Carlos Gracie Sr. when they passed all this technique to him, and then there was when the Gracie family met for the first time the jiu-jitsu techniques. And with that, Helio was the best student of Carlos Gracie, and they started developing the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, which is called the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for the world. And with the progress of generations and generations, Helio Gracie was the founder of the UFC in America, which is Helio Gracie's son. And with Royce Gracie became very famous by winning the 3 times the UFC championships, and then show the different version of the fight 1-to-1, which is more like ground submission, locks and pins, and was very new for the world. And then this called attention to the world, and now Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is one of the most grown sport in the whole world. Hi, on this first episode I'm gonna be working with my friend and training partner Otávio Souza. He's gonna help me to go over and explain a few important concepts about how to keep your opponent on your guard, which is a very important thing to know. Instead, being worried about how to keep your guard closed, you just focus on the next step, just about submissions and sweeps, because a lot of people get worried about how to keep the guard closed, and because change just positioning a little bit here and there. So we're gonna be focused on to give you the key points that are gonna allow you to develop your game during the close guard attacks. Hi, so now we're gonna start showing some concepts and some invisible parts of the close guard, how to keep your opponent under control on the close guard. Okay, start from here. Okay, first thing we need to worry about, okay, it's how to keep your close guard. A lot of people get worried about you guys start opening the guard, and then they start fighting to don't let the close guard open, and then you stop thinking about your future attacks and how to develop your game. All right. First of all, things that you need to worry about. Okay. Posture. You need to try to break the posture as much as possible. Okay. But one of the most important things, I need to be in the center of him all the time, because every time I try to put the knee underneath of my butt to be able to open. Okay. And then when he makes the gap, when he makes the angle, this is pretty uncomfortable. All right. So I don't want to let this happen. Okay, so the first thing and tip that you need to know is every time that I'm fighting a close guard, I try to put the knee underneath, I just hop to the middle again. So he comes, I just hop the middle like that. I keep always taking advantage of this and try to get to my position. So, for example, he gonna go to the knee on the hips again. Gonna go, look, it is when I touch and break the posture. Once I break the posture, I have the control. Okay. Second thing. The hand that he has the most control to break his posture is this hand, this arm here. So it's hard for me to break, all right? You have a few things to worry about here. For example, I need to break this grip. I can actually hit to the outside, which is the weakest point, okay, for him, hit, and then bring my leg into me, okay? Like that I can break the posture, like that I can already set up some attacks on the arms and stuff. So it's very simple. So he tries to control here, start to walk, and then boom, one, bring the leg with me, and then hug the neck. Once you hug the neck, you control the whole body. afterwards, as long as I keep hold here, I can start working around to get some grips, and I can release the neck. But the neck is very important, okay? Second thing, has a very good escape, okay, that the guy has by controlling the belt and start walking backwards here, and then it's like very tough. He starts walking, I cannot control, pop, and then the leg opens, all right? So those things are very easy to control if you know what to do, all right? The first thing that you need to do, look, if you see, every time when he starts walking backwards, the idea that he has is like put his butt underneath of my legs and then break with his back bend, all right? What I'm going to do here, it is I'm going to keep my feet and heel clamp to his butt like that. I don't let his butt goes away. So like that, when he tries to walk back, look, he can't walk back. I just keep hip up and control the heels to me like that he doesn't go up. So I'm already controlling two different movements that he has. One is like every time I try to put the knee on the middle, I hop in. Every time that he walk backwards, I clamp. Okay, so he cannot walk backwards. Try to walk back. So see, and I have more chances to attack from here. Okay, just bring it back and control. All right. So I start to get him less options to open my guard. Okay. As we know already, one break. We know that every time that he put the knee on the middle, I hop to the center. Every time I try to walk backwards, I block the butt. You know, so he becomes with less option. Now, I know that he doesn't have much option to open my guard. So the first thing that he's gonna try to do now is to stand up, all right? So I know that every time that he's going to do something, he's gonna stand up. See, 1, 2, and then he will be able, here he's strong, and he can actually open my guard from here. Okay, go, open my guard. Okay, so now I know that if he got frustrated that he's not open my guard and stuff, he will open. So you have like a fraction of a second, okay, that he completely out of balance. Okay, it is when he transfers his weight to one leg to be able to lift one leg. So every time that he comes up, well, so look at that. Now, just before he steps in, he's out of balance. Okay, so I'm gonna take advantage of, go back. If I'm gonna take advantage of this, no, go back. I'm gonna take advantage of this to get him out by bring him with my legs like that. Look, I just wanna pull him to get him out of balance, all right? So he controls, and then now, and I control his posture. Like that, I have a good control again, and he's back on step 1. So every time that he tries to come up, look, boom, bring back, control the head. Once you control the head, that's how you can actually start adjusting yourself. If you just break the head, if you just break him down here, and afterwards go to the arms or whatever, he always posture back again. And then here is the hardest bit because he's gonna have a good posture again. Look, and then he will have to stand up again. All right. Another thing as well that is very important, every time that you can't break the posture down and stuff, this is the biggest arm. If you cannot hit the guy too strong, I like a lot to grip across the collar and use my left arm as a bend on top of his elbow. Like that, I break his posture. If his arm is not straight, he cannot posture up. And if he can't posture up, I can always control the top and then I go back. All the time, I base a lot on control his neck because that's where the strength of the guy on the top is. Every time that he's far away, it's very hard for me to do something. All right. So if I cannot hit the guy here, I control, turn, look in, and grab and stuff. All right. I can use the arm across as well to make sure that he keep parallel to me, because once he starts walking around to the side, you know, I hop in, but I need to keep myself square. All right. It is when I come here, pull down and control. All right. So we have plenty of concepts that react. I don't think. Whenever he does, he moves, I moved. You know, it's just like he changed the shape and I just fit into the shape again to keep the guy under control of my guard. All right. So when he tried to stand up, if I missed one situation, for example, the timing when he stood up. Imagine the guy was pretty fast, I didn't accept, I didn't plan well. He's gonna go stand up and then it's too late. I have another option, which is the second time that he's gonna transfer the weight. So he transferred the weight to one leg, lift it, and afterwards when he transfers to the other, I can actually just bring him down, right? If you find someone very strong, that you find that guy has very good grip, and then every time that I pull down when he stands up, like the guy is strong here and I cannot open here, you know, you need to do something about it, right? You need to do an action here. So I'm gonna combine the first technique of breaking the posture with the pulling while he's standing up. So he's here, he controlling, as soon as he goes, when he's gonna go, all right, and then I control ready straight away to the head and the arm, all right? So that means that every time that the guy, I feel the guy's too strong, when he's come to stand up, look, boom, and hit in one go at the same time, all right? So here we go. We already have good positions, how to keep the guy on my guard, on his knees, okay? A few other options is like, for example, he managed to stood up and I couldn't control, you know, and the guy too strong, okay? And then I grip the sleeve that I can, because you're gonna see he grips me and I grip him. Like that, he's stuck with both hands on one hand, so I have another hand free to attack or to make position myself, okay? One thing that I like to do from here is control the shin, okay, with the free arm, okay? And I'm gonna put my hips, I'll bridge high, like bridge high, put my hips on top of his knee, and now I will pull him, exactly the same movement, bring the leg to me, like, boom, and then he will go down, okay? That means that, listen up, every time when he's up here, if I control and I put my hips on top of his knee, okay, the far knee, I pull him down and then he cannot step forward because my hips is pushing his knee away from me and my hand is stopping him doing any step forward. Because if I would do this and I would pull, he would step forward, look, so don't fall. And then he would have base, right? So all the time, look, he doesn't fall. But here, I pull it, look, boom, and then he cannot go. And like that would be a good option to take advantage of the grip that I had to develop your next attack. So basically, what I'm trying to give you today is like the key points, how to keep the guy on my guard, that gives me time to think my next step, gives me time to set up my strategy, and what to do, how to position myself for the next move, all right? So if I'm stressed about keep my leg closed, this don't give me much free time to think about. This is about reactions and stuff, all right? So I'm gonna show now how it would be on the real situation, okay? I'm gonna control and I'm gonna try to make posture and I will deal with it, okay? All right, so basically, what we're doing here is controlling your opponent with doing the moving on the right time, doing the right stuff against what he's trying to do. For example, he's trying to posture up, I break the posture. He tried to move to the side to get the angle to break my guard, I move back again and square up again. He tried to stand up, I pull him down. I can't pull him down, break the tripod, because that's where he has the power to stand up, is here. If this goes, he falls. So that's a little tricks that I use to keep the guy on my close guard. So from the close guard, Okay, now I'm gonna show how to deal with the position that we've been doing, what we've been doing all through this first part, okay? And I'm gonna apply a submission, okay? So, before I do it, I'm gonna explain how it works, the submission, okay? What I'm going to do here, I'm going to take advantage of that he has a posture, okay? So he's strong here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to hit, okay, his hand. I'm going to bring him down at the same time, okay? So it's like, I'm here, control, boom, and I sit up to bring him faster. Once this happens, catch and hold the neck here and keep it tight. Okay, so that means that I got hold of his arm, and this is a very good advantage that I have. Okay, so next step that I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure that I have a good tight arm above his elbow, okay, which I can squeeze the joint that he cannot take the joint out. Okay, it's pretty tight. I can control that. I can use the collar to secure. Okay, I can use the collar over here to secure his posture, because then I have two forces against one here. See, so he's pretty tight in that. Okay, the next step that I'm going to do here, I'm gonna be pushing his shoulder or his biceps, depending who you fight. Depends the length of the person, how big is the guy, how easy is to push. The idea is not where, but it's to put my knee through. Okay, whoever you feel like. Okay, I'll lock here, and I'm gonna do like a escape of the hips. Okay, I'll put the foot on the floor and a snake, and then come back inside. Okay, it's very important the feeling on this movement, because when I grab here and I'll snake to the hips up, escape here, I'll put the knee through and I'll come back inside. All right. Once this happens, I'm gonna put my hand under his shoulder as a bar that he cannot go any down any lower than that. Okay, so that's the trick. A lot of people try to make a figure four here. Okay, but by the time that you do a figure four, you lose it up a little bit so the guy can turn, and then again I have to go to the omoplata, and the guy, if it's good escaping the omoplata, it's not very easy to submit. Okay, so instead you need to understand what's the idea of this arm, what this arm is doing. This arm basically is blocking and try to push his elbow down in this direction. So this must be the tension all the time, that direction here, down. All right, if I bend my arm to go for the figure four, I'm giving him release the pressure. So this is a mistake that you do, okay, on the real situation. On the real situation, when I get the arm, okay, and I have the collar or not, which is not necessary, okay, I need to escape the hips, put the knee in, but it's pushing down. Once I put the hand over here, look my hand. My hand doesn't need to cross, doesn't need to go that way. I just need to do this on my own thigh, just pushing like that. Look. That's the idea that I'm going to go, okay? So I just push it through, look, and I use my thigh to help the elbow. And like that, look, I push down, and then I push his elbow through the gap that has between me and him, which I control his shoulder. That doesn't go anything down, so that means I have like a column here, another column here, and I need to push his elbow down to be able to make the lock. That's how you need to understand. So you need to feel a lot of the elbow. The rotation is always inwards, because once it goes inwards, he doesn't have no way out. If you go this side, he can always give him a chance. By while I'm going to the omoplata, he managed to do a roll and escape. But I want to give as less chance as possible for him, so I want to get it tight at all times. So you need to know where to keep turning, how to turn, and then how to keep the pressure on the right way. Okay, so I broke off here. Take one, sit up, two, control. All right. If I don't have the grip, fair enough. Just keep tight. The reason now, what I'm going to do now, as soon as I start escaping the hips, I straighten my arm, put my hand on the shoulder. Now a big mistake that people do, start squeezing too early. Here, it's just squeezing his elbow against my rib. What I need to do a quick escape. Look. From between him and just push down. You need to lose the fear. A lot of people get worried about being too far apart of your opponent. But it's not only about that. You have limits. As long as you have the right grip, you can go as far as you can, because the further that you go, you're gonna get the elbow even more tighter. Okay? You just need to believe. So when I catch here, one, control here, make sure that I have the grip. When I put the hips on the top, I control. Now, you don't need to be afraid of put the hips out. Look, he's out. It's just like that. Just put down, he's completely out. Just a little bit of a pressure, he will be down. My arm is pushing down. Can you see my hand is not here? Because if I do this, I'm helping him turn. So I'm always keeping this friction here. You know, look, let's turn the elbow to me. See, I stop this turn. All right? And then when I put my arm, my leg on top, I just keep turning down like this way, and then he would go then. All right? So once more, let's go back down. Okay? So when I hit, one, sit up, control. I control, hit the biceps, push the hips, shoulder. Don't be afraid of push down. Your hips far away. The only thing that you cannot do is too far that I'm gonna lose the arm. But when you have the arm across, you can feel that very easily. Just put the hips down. Look, he's down. Don't be afraid, because he can do nothing about it. Even though it seems like he's free to do something. But could you move here, Otávio? Could you try to?
I cannot.
Try to pass to the left. See, he's completely locked. Okay, so that is what I want to pass to you. As long as you know what the limitations are of your opponent, more you can manipulate him. Okay, and more you get confident of going with full concentration on the technique. Because if you go like 50-60%, shall I go, shall I not? That's when the guy escapes. But if you go and get sharp on the drills, it's not about speed, it's about tightness. All right? So, on the real situation, we would be here fighting. He tried to pass my guard, I control, and push him down. He's gonna go up, try to pass a guard or something, you know. Control. Right. Escape the hips. Look, he's already done. Just push the hips out. He's gone. All right. It all will depend. A lot of. Can you see his arm is shorter than mine? So that means that he's on straight away. A lot of people would have by now the elbow my rib. Look, his elbow is here, so it has a gap to push down. But if you find someone that has a long arm, in my case against him, my elbow would be on the ribs then. So if it's on my ribs, what do? Escape. That's no worry. Just believe, and you're gonna get. Okay? So this would be one of the options of the finishing from the control that we've been using on the close guard. Okay, now we have a good idea how to deal with people's reactions when you're on the bottom, how to keep your opponent inside of a close guard, and what to look for when he is inside of a close guard. Okay, now I'm going to give you a concept on the other end. Okay, when the guy is on the top like that, you can get your friend or your partner that you can play around and try to see who is the best, you know, like on the bottom or on the top, because in the end of the day it will become like a back and forth technique, you know, who has a better combination, who can deal better timing. Because it's, when you see like in boxing, for example, we have like 5 major techniques, like a jab, cross, hook, uppercut, you know, straight. So those can be combined between them in many variations. So that's the same thing. We have like a 6, 7, 8 different concepts that the guy knows that you have, and we're gonna try to jog around to balance him around, to try to develop his technique around the situation. Okay, so I'm gonna give you now the concepts from the guy on the top. Okay. First of all, what I like to be clear. Okay, everything is easier when you expect more or less what he's going for. All right. The thing is, I need to be safe in the different aspects. I need to be safe about sweeps, about submissions, which can be choke, triangle, armbars from this situation, omoplatas, okay? So, if you worry too much about, oh my God, my arm, if I worry about, oh my neck, oh the triangle, you know, even for a second, gonna be thinking about the passing guard, okay? So, those mechanics needs to be kind of controlled in a way that you put yourself in a center of the circle that you can be aware of the most of it, all right? And if you let him get choices, okay, you're gonna be behind, all right? So if you wait for him to start attacking you, you're gonna start always be behind of the technique. What I want is like impose the situation and then let him follow what I want. That's the best thing, okay? So I'm gonna start first of all how to keep my posture, all right? You guys know now that what he wants is break my posture at all times, okay? So I need to be focused on that. It doesn't matter what I do, but I've got to keep myself on posture, because if I'm down here, he's in advantage, okay? And you guys know that. So first thing, I like to control the both collars in this way, okay? One day my Zé Radiola told me, yeah, when you get on the top, you grip both collars. And I said, but it doesn't feel right, it's too thick and stuff. But trust me, you're gonna get this right, because you get used to, okay? I used to get just one collar because it felt better, but once you get used to, you know how important it is. If you get just one, it's very easy to go down. If you get both, it is harder, either way, okay? So, controlling here, controlling my posture, all right? I have my left hand free to try to grab his sleeves. That would be my first goal, okay? Because once I have his sleeve, I give him less options. He just have one arm free. But a lot of people let this arm hide, so he wants me to overcommit to break my posture. So if you can't reach that, you don't really need that sleeve to stand up, okay? I'm gonna show the basic stand up, breaking posture, okay? And I will talk through it, okay? This is the basic one. I'm gonna grab the sleeves, okay? And I'm gonna stand up with my left leg. The reason that I stand up with my left leg, okay, is because he cannot hold, okay? He can't go in there, all right? I use my right hand as a tripod so I can actually base on it. Remember, he will try to hit this to break me down, okay? Boom, exactly, then I will go down here, see? So I need to focus on that, all right? So the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to try to push this sleeve down and protect above his wrist. Like that, he doesn't have easier access to hit my hand, all right? So I'm going to grip, I'm going to stick my fist towards the belly, okay? And lift this out. Like that, he tried to hit my hand, he can't, all right? So like that, I'm going to have a posture here, I'm going to stand up, all right? And now, what do I know is that he has the right hand free. I mean, his left hand free. So I know that. If I bring my left straight, he can easily hook my leg and attack here an omoplata sweep. See? Oh. That's it. So he can attack me then. So I need to be aware of that. But the good thing is, I know that I'm vulnerable against his arm. So I protect myself beforehand, okay? So that is what it's all about. I block the counter that he's probably gonna do against my next move. That's the whole idea, all right? I don't counter when he's going to attack me or when he's going to do. I count before, because I know if he does, I'm safe. If he doesn't, doesn't matter. I'm gonna do it anyway. Okay, so I'll make sure I have my collars controlled and the sleeves. I block the sleeve, all right? And now I open the leg that he's protected by his arm, all right? And I know now the only arm that is free is this one. It's the only one that he can attack my leg. The posture cannot be to break it here at all. He cannot take this out. He cannot push me down. So I'm free for that. Now, the only vulnerable bit now is going to be my right leg, okay? So when I stand up, I will hide my leg and I will twist my knee towards the inside. Like that, he doesn't have a good angle to control and involve my leg completely. See, so he cannot catch my arm here. If I was here, he would try to catch my arm here and send to the other one. You know what I mean? And this is bad. Okay? But if he cannot put his elbow on the hook, he's vulnerable. Alright? So that's what I want to do it. I want to control. 1, 2, 3. And look, I turn his body. And he tried to put the elbow underneath. He doesn't have the angle. Once I have that, posture up. Like a deadlift. When I have the deadlift, I use his weight against his own guard. So I just shake it a little bit and pull, and he's out. Alright? If I try to open, if you try to open this guard, okay, from here, it's very unlikely you're gonna open. Because he's still with his weight on the back, on the floor, so holds his weight, so his leg is very strong. So what I need to do, I need to use the sleeve that I had and use this as a deadlift. Boom, hips up, alright? Always worried about the arm that he's gonna, every time that he goes to this arm, I twist inside. Just look, put the elbow in the between, okay, to put more weight on his thigh, and now shake it and push down, alright? So basically, I'm putting him in the corner. I'm making grips that make him completely unsecure, uncomfortable. That's the idea, is make your opponent uncomfortable in any position. Even when he should be feeling comfortable, I make him uncomfortable. Like that, he doesn't develop his game. Okay? So this was when I managed to get the sleeve. Okay? But sometimes, when you see people put the hands under the neck, you think, what's going on, man? The guy is just playing around or something, just feels like he's just in the beach. He's not. The reason that he's like that is because he don't let me grab the sleeve. And which usually, people go for the sleeve. And if you overcommit yourself to get the sleeve, it is when he's going to break my arm, or my posture. Like, pulling down, and then he gets me in the trap. If I cannot reach the sleeve, this is not necessary. Okay, what I can do, I can get the sleeve, or I can get with my hand that's supposed to be the sleeve, and control the trousers, and I push towards to the ground. All right. The idea on this, I need to keep pushing his hips away from my elbow. All right. I do actually a kind of an X. My forearm is parallel to the thigh. It's not to the outside. All right. It's here and pushing away from me. The reason is because as I'm gonna have only one hand here as in the tripod, all right, and he has both hands free to attack afterwards when I have here, okay, what happens is, if he goes for an armbar or something, the idea of the armbar, what it is put his hips under my triceps, okay? So if he goes for an armbar, that's how it goes. Look, snake, boom, pass, let go, pop. Okay, so he needs to put his hips here. So when I don't have the arms under control, when I have the trousers, you can even be your choice. You don't need to go to this league. It can be your choice as well. What I do, I keep pushing as much as possible his hips away from my elbow, because I keep the tension and become like an elastic band, like that. Every time that he goes to attack my arm, he needs to open his legs. As soon as he opens his legs, boom, he goes away from me, because the tension is pushing his hips away from my elbow. So I control the chest, control the legs away, and I keep pushing him away. So if he goes to the elbow, look, he's far away. Try to go for the armbar. Look, no armbar, because I'm pushing beyond my elbow. So I'm safe. And if he does bring to me, look, I can always pull, and I have time to attack, to pass, or reset for my position to the guard pass. Okay, so this is situations and a little key points, little tips that are very, very important in a fight. Okay, those little things you don't see happening. You just see the guy here controlling, try to do, but you don't know why he's this. this is here, you don't know where you're pushing this, you know, so I'm giving you the example. You grip here, you push the guy here, but you don't know why you're pushing around. It's because he cannot hit me. So those little tips that makes a lot of difference on the fight. Those milliseconds give you a lot of more to go, okay? But the guy didn't attack my arm and didn't open either, okay? So I'm here pushing. What I'm going to do now, I know that if I lift this leg over here, it's gonna be very vulnerable for him to catch. And now I'm under pressure, okay? So I need to find a way to stand up, because when you fight someone very good in guard, it's very hard, as I show you the tips on the guard, it's very hard for you to open the guard if the guy knows what he's doing. Because all the time, I'm here, too strong, I start pushing him away, and then he blocks the hips. Look, and then it's hard. Go back. And then I try to walk away, he put the hips up. And then I cannot open. I try to put the knee in the middle, he hops in the knee again. Then I do it again, and again, and he hits me here. Boom, man, it's a nightmare. And it just become like, man, I just like running one after the other. So you need to do something about it. So my first option is stand up. But to stand up is not so easy. You need to stand up safe, watching for what he has free to attack me, and that's going to be all my focus, okay? So that's what I'm trying to give you today. So controlling here, I know that if you go for the armbar, I'm safe because I'm pushing his hips away. Now I know that if I lift the left leg up, this is going to be the first thing that you're going to try to do. So I'm going to make sure that my leg is going to be as far as possible for him to catch. So what I do, I push, look, leg is far away, okay? Look at that, he cannot reach. And don't forget, the left hand is pushing his hips down, because if he goes anytime for any armbar, look, I always have the tension yet. So this focus, this hand is here for safety of my arm, okay, my arm safety, okay? So I'm here, controlling, push his hips away just in case if he's going to go to the armbar. If he doesn't go, I'm safe anyway, okay? Far away, and now I use this as a tripod, okay? And then I'll go up and turn, okay? That he can either get this leg, but he can't because I'm safe, and push his hips down. If he tries to get to this leg, he can't get the elbow around, so I'm safe. Now I just need to go 1, and then 2, and then I'm already here on the open guard, okay? The first thing on the closed guard, you need to keep your posture, stand up, break the guard. Then you're gonna make the scenario go to your best. We're gonna go over the series how to approach in each different type of guard pass. In the same way, in every type of guard defense, regain guard, how to sweep, you know, in a determined situation, because it will become once as when the guy on the bottom knows the most of the thing, the guy on the top knows the most of the thing, gonna become a job, like a puzzle, you know, and then it will, like when people say it's BJJ just like chess, that's how it is. When you know the movement that the guy can do against you, and you know the movement that you're capable of do against him, it's becoming a lot of positioning game. I put myself in this angle because I'm gonna give this little bit for him. When he move around, I'll catch him this the other side. So that's how I'm gonna show you how to approach, how to deal with those little situations, okay? So, once more, controlling here. I don't have the sleeve because the guy's hiding. I don't have it. The guy's there, cannot grab. So I control, pull away, look, far, okay? 2. Other option here would be the posture, okay? When I get the collar, I slide 1 because I don't want 2. I slide the collar and then pull up, okay? And I use this grip as a hang because I know that he has the arms free, so he can actually do the sweep. If I'm gonna fall here, see? So I need to use this as a hang myself to control myself on top, okay? So I have the same situation, okay? Put away a little bit, leg far away, okay? Stand up, now 1 and 2. I use this with the tension because when he goes to the leg, I know every time that he's gonna go use his arms. I know more or less what he's trying to do. If he goes inside, I twist my knee inside. If you go the inside, I twist my knee inside. If you go above, I hip up. Okay? The reason is because I know what he's going to do. Every time that he goes above, the only way that he's going to be doing the sweep is backwards. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hang myself here, and when he goes to the sweep, I hip up. When I do this, I hang myself. He doesn't have power to push. Try to push. He doesn't have power to push. It is now that I could take advantage, you know, to start passing the guard, smashing him. Okay? So, this, I really like this position because gives me a lot of stability and control on top. Okay? Because if you let him free, he's gonna be going to anything. So when you stand up, he has both arms free. He can either go to my left, to my right, or to the both. Okay? So it's easy to match. Whatever angle he turns, I turn into it. If he goes above the arms, the legs, it is when I bridge up because I know what is going to come. Okay? So once more, he hides the hand, I can get on top of the trousers, back, stand up, and I give my left arm for him. Okay? If he does get, I go for the first one. Look, pop it. Okay? If he doesn't get, when I'm here, he's here, he doesn't get, what I'm going to do, I'm going to control the collar, one collar, and then hip up. If you're going to go for down, our hips forward. Okay? As soon as he, as soon he's here, I know he wants just this knee. So I turn, and then like I pull back, and I'll break. If he goes to the other side, I turn to the inside again. Okay? Break. Alright? If he goes to the above, I hip up. Because he's going to go for the sweep, I hip up. And then look, under hook. And I control here, sit on top of him, and just go, oh, and I can do the pass. Alright? So, those are one of the few situations that I like to do when I'm on the top. That's the way that I approach. That's the way that I see the fight. That's my frame of mind. Okay? That's how I make my strategy. Okay? I know more or less what the guy can do against me, and I'm already, before I do this technique, I'm already putting myself in a safe position on the possible counter that he has against me. So basically, I try all the time to clean before the way that I'm going to. That's my concept. Okay? I don't go through a way, whatever happens, I'm gonna jump around or do that. Basically, that's how the most effective BJJ. That's why when you see people fighting well, that gain position is hard to regain. It's because before that he was cleaning the way. That's no obstacle then. You go, grab. If you manage to catch, you really catch. Sometimes it's hard to catch because you're making the harder work behind, before you do it. Okay? So if you put in a frame of mind all the time that you canceling the possible counter of your opponent against your next move, okay, this make you more clever on the game, make you more make you understand more, because when you do this, you make you try to understand the situation with your own way of thinking, and like that you improve much faster. That's how I improve myself. That's the way that I improve faster when I start training this way, thinking about what the guy can do against me, what can I do against him, what do I do that all the time he blocks me there and I cannot make it. It's the arm, so I block the arm before I do it. So this is the kind of concept that's going to be passing through the whole series, every month or every week that's going to be putting up. Okay, so that's a very important technique. It's not only an actual pass or the actual submission, but how to survive, how to deal with the guy's attacks, to be able to develop you go forward and go ahead and be ahead on the game. Because if you keep behind, it's very hard to catch up.